I think I'm going to call this the Dolo Show. Just me in a chair talking about certain aspects of whatever is on my mind as far as technology, gaming, why I cover certain things. That's pretty much it. This is kind of like a podcast, but I'm by myself, hence the name The Dolo Show. I don't know if it's going to do good or bad, but people that get invested enough in my channel or the things I talk about and want a further explanation on why those are the things that I'm talking about, this is going to be the place to go to kind of get insight and perspective on where my head's at when it comes to certain things. So the first thing that I want to kind of cover or address is the fact that as of the past 3 months, I've mainly been covering just Steam Deck content. The reason for that is PlayStation 5 is boring. Simple as that. That is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to disagree with me. It's just me stating how I feel. I just don't see anything that stands out to me on there. There's nothing that I really want to play or really get invested into when it comes to PlayStation. It's not like Spider-Man 2 is out. It's not like God of War is out. It's just kind of just there. It's not that I don't use it either. It's just there's not enough for me to care about on the system. Same thing with Xbox Series S or X. Let me get something out of the way real quick. I have no plans of getting an Xbox Series X. There's no part of me that needs it or wants it. The only way I'm getting one is if I trade this in for an extremely good trade-in deal and just to get it for sake of content and not really for personal use. Sometimes I have to ask myself, like, do I want this for content? Am I actually going to use this? And if I can answer both of those questions with a yes, like, I'm going to use this and I'm going to use it for content, then it's a no-brainer. Yes, I want that. That is why I'm so caught up on the Steam Deck content, because it's one, something that I really enjoy using and playing, and two, it makes for great content that sparks curiosity in people and is informative enough to show people what this device is, especially when it's something that isn't sold in stores and you kind of have to go out of your way for this thing. I kind of show what I show to really go back in myself and be like, man, that was really cool. Like, just kind of timestamp that point in time where this cool device was the thing at the moment in 2022. Later on, I'm going to look back and be like, wow, the first handheld computer. Like, part of it is personal. The other part is hopefully sparking curiosity in other people so that they can get their own device, have their own opinion based on what I'm showing. I hate the term review, and notice how in any of my videos covering this or the PlayStation or the Steam Deck, I never use the word review. I feel like review is too definitive and it's just something subjective. Everyone can have a different opinion on why the Steam Deck is good. Everyone can have a different opinion on why the Xbox Series S sucks. Like, don't by any means think this console sucks. I've spoken really highly of it and it is pretty useful, but when you have other things you're interested in, this might be the least thing that stands out. That is why mine has been unplugged for over a month. I think if you're clicking on a product or clicking on a video about a thing that you're interested in, it's because subconsciously you already know you want it. You just want justification for you actually getting it. And sometimes you might hear things you don't want to hear about something you might really think you're going to like. It might be a fact that this controller is not good because it's made out of rubber or something, right? Example. But maybe someone's looking for a rubber controller. There's different things that people want and need that are different from your wants and needs. That's why no opinion should ever be above your own. I feel like everyone can make up their own mind based on what they're looking at. That's why I try to stay away from saying very definitive things like this is the best this or this is the best that or this sucks because of this. I think if I'm showing you something, like for example, if I'm showing you Spider-Man running on the Steam Deck at 60 frames per second, you can make up your own mind on whether that's good, bad, cool, or not cool. Maybe you were looking for something that you could play at 120 frames. Maybe you were looking for something that was smaller and ran at 30 frames. I can only show you what it's like for me, and you can either disagree or agree with me. And that is, to me, more important than telling you this sucks and then completely shutting you out from buying something that you might actually enjoy if you actually did go in yourself and use it. I make up my mind based on what I see, and there might be things I like about something that I'm like, okay, I like this, and then that looks stupid, but I could still deal with it because there's more good than bad, and you just kind of make your own opinion. I don't want to get stuck on the same subject. Just know that I hate the term reviews. Everyone can use their common sense, put 2 and 2 together, and kind of come up with a conclusion on whether or not they want something. I don't think anyone should tell you this thing sucks, you shouldn't buy it because it's blue. What if you like blue? Moving on to Steam Deck. Like I said, I've been covering Steam Deck for 3 months now, probably 2.5 months. I have like 41 videos. It's been really fun. I'm looking forward to continue creating videos, and this is going to kind of bridge a gap until something interesting happens in either a game, a console, or any other technological thing that is monumental enough and interesting enough for me to cover here. So for now, expect to see more of this. And another thing is, I can't just go around buying every handheld PC that's coming out, even though some people that are enjoying the Steam Deck content are like, hey, maybe you should cover the AYANEO. Like, we're at a place right now where I have to fund the channel myself, and everything that I buy is because I want to use it. And on top of that, I can make videos about it because I'm going to own that thing and actually use it and enjoy it. When it comes to just comparing it to flat out everything and anything that's in the market, I can't do that just yet. I can't fund that. They're not sending me AYANEO. They're not sending me PS Slim when it comes out. They're not sending me those things. But me maintaining the momentum and the content consistent, eventually maybe those things will be possible where I don't have to talk about the Steam Deck for 8 months before I move on to the next thing, because I can actually just compare it to whatever other handheld PCs are in the market at the moment, because I'll be able to get my hands on that. And to answer like the question of which one's better, the AYANEO or the Steam Deck, well, the same thing I just said about comparing applies here too. It is more expensive. The AYANEO Air is more expensive than the Steam Deck. It's like $650. There's 3 different models. I think there is a $499 model, and even that one's more expensive than the base model Steam Deck, which is $399. But to kind of sum it up, if you're looking for something that's pocketable, smaller, and can still run AAA titles that are PC games, the AYANEO Air, yeah, it seems really interesting and cool. But why would I have that when I have the Steam Deck at the moment? And if it's not for the sake of content, I'm not really going to be using the AYANEO Air. Like, I'm not going to be walking around with it or taking it anywhere. I already don't do that with the Steam Deck, even though I can. The furthest places I took it was like in an airplane when I went to visit my parents. Steam Deck is cheaper, it's more powerful, and is doing everything I've wanted to do with it as far as playing games and running Windows on it, which is something I've seen videos on like, oh, if you want a Windows machine to run AAA games, then the AYANEO is great because you can't play Warzone or Fortnite on the Steam Deck, which is completely false if you put Windows on it. It's all heavily opinionated. It's all preference. If you want to pay $600 because something is smaller, and that's the reason you're looking for a handheld PC, to have something that's really small, pocketable, fits in your backpack pocket or something, like, then yeah, you're going to want to pay the extra money because that's the feature you're paying for. Whereas, you know, trying to convince you that the Steam Deck is more powerful is going to do nothing because it's a bigger system. But yeah, I think the AYANEO Air looks amazing, aesthetically nice. Like, the white one looks amazing. If I had the funding to just get all the handheld PCs right now, I would definitely go for one, even if that meant I was still going to go back to my Steam Deck the next day. I'm still having fun. I'm still creating. I'm still being consistent. So it's still serving a purpose, and maybe right now is not the moment for me to be covering multiple devices and having everything that I could possibly get for free and covering a bunch of tech on here, but we're still starting out, so eventually we'll get there. But right now we talk about what I'm able to get my hands on and what makes most sense to me, and hopefully with those decisions being made, we eventually get to the bigger stuff, which would be awesome. Not would be, will be. It's kind of my quick opinion on AYANEO Air, handheld PCs, why I'm covering the Steam Deck, and kind of the direction the channel will take in the future. I will continue to cover the things I've already talked about as soon as things pertaining to that system or piece of technology become interesting to me. When PSVR 2 comes out, I think that's a great reason to talk about PS5 again, VR, and just the DualSense Edge controller, another thing that looks really cool, but we have to wait for it. So until we get our hands on that, we continue covering the Steam Deck and maybe the small PlayStation stuff that happens here and there, and then big AAA titles or games that are really interesting, like Modern Warfare 2 that's coming. I was hoping Saints Row would be good, and I was going to talk about that game, but I don't know. I don't feel like spending $60 on a game that might be mid, and I just might not keep playing it after the first day. So maybe a sale or when it comes to Game Pass, but right now I'm good off of it. I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything, so I'm really looking forward to Modern Warfare 2. Like I said, PSVR 2. God of War is like something I'm excited for, but not really thinking about, so I feel like it's just going to pop up and we're going to be there when it happens. But it's kind of where we're at, or where I'm at, as far as my headspace and where the direction of the channel is going and things we will cover in the future. And if funding and financial stability gets crazy or whatever, if I'm able to get more tech, then I'm able to make more videos, and then that just expands our horizons on the things we could talk about. So expect more videos in the future. I'm not stopping creating videos anytime soon. Sorry about that. I had a call real quick, but what was I saying? Yeah, that's where the headspace is. A lot of cool things I know will happen for sure in the future. Technology's only getting cooler, and just, I don't feel like it's ever too late to start a tech channel. And if you really like tech and you really like talking about it and you have the funds to keep up with it, you will have a lot of options and different things to talk about. Even though I do stay consistently on one topic for a while, that doesn't mean we're not covering other tech in the future. And I wanted to make that clear. And that also doesn't mean we're leaving the tech we already talked about in the past. With that being said, I think this is just me speaking my mind a bit, and whoever's interested will watch and listen, and whoever's not, well, I don't really care. No one's forcing you. Everyone has a choice. You could either watch, listen, or just walk away, and that's with anything. So I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned for videos, and if I do, and I don't even know if I'm uploading this, but Dolo show, that's what I'm calling it. I will catch you guys on the next one, and subscribe if you're new. If you're new and you're watching this for the first video, then hopefully it was enjoyable or something interesting to hear some perspective, peace of mind. That's all I got, really. Peace.